Hello all, welcome back to the Sprucegate Modeling. Today I'll be showing you how I painted Tamiya's infamous Panzer II. Um, so first we'll be starting with Tamiya spray, dark yellow, and this will be going over for a base coat of the entire thing. Of course, turret and road wheels should be sprayed separately, just for ease of painting and so that, the turret ends up, turning at some point, especially if you're not sure what you want to do with it yet. So make sure you're getting all the nooks and crannies there. And it dries a pretty nice desert yellow, and we'll be giving it a highlight of khaki. Um, should be pretty heavy. It's a really similar color. Now I'll be using pale sand for a much lighter highlight. This is a lot lighter. You really don't want this to be too heavy, otherwise the tank can end up looking really weird. So, next step, we're doing a bit of wet blending. I'm using German Camo Orange Ochre, and I'm spreading it along in blobs on the tank. No pattern to it, just try to make it not cover everything, but cover enough that it doesn't look weird. Don't try to steer around details either. So now I'm adding a bit of khaki, too, blending it in there, getting some of that variation. And when those are dry, give it a wash to tone it all down. I'm using a black wash. Also let this seep into the crevices and get some shading in there. So this one should be pretty heavy. Of course, everything we've done thus far should also be done on the turret. No blending on the road wheels, but other than that, yes. So like I said, make sure it's nice and heavy. This is a home mixed one, but any brand will obviously work. Alright, looks like we're just about done with that. And we'll be moving on to another highlight of khaki to bring the edges back out and unify the color a bit more. I like how this is looking so far, actually. It'll work well for what I want to use this for, a bit of a diorama, and it's supposed to be super weathered. So, it's decal time. You're going to be taking some microset and painting it onto the tank. I am using and then attaching the decal before adjusting it as necessary. I'm using the Roman numeral 2 sign based on some reference images, as well as 3 Balkan kreuzes in various points that I also checked out and are historically accurate. You may also notice that I've attached some helmets to the side of the tank. That's just to give it a little bit of personality. Make it a little different. I've also attached a musette bag. But it's time for black detailing. This means machine gun and road wheel rubber, as well as metal tool heads, and any bare metal is gonna be black at this point. Now we're gonna be taking, I think it's olive brown, and we're going to be painting on to handles of all of the wooden tool handles. And also, we're going to be painting the musette bag. Our favorite color this time, khaki. It won't, I'm hoping to make it stand out with a highlight and a wash later. So now we're actually going to be doing a bit of sponge chipping on that helmet with khaki again, before taking flat brown and painting the tracks to represent the red oxide primer that the Germans often used. So now we're going to be highlighting all the wood. I'm showing you the box in the back as it's pretty easy to show, with German Camo Pale Brown. Highlight all the wood like this, tool handles, and of course this box. So, next up is another highlight, this time of all of the black detailing we did, except for the wheel rubber. All metal will get a highlight of, any metallic you want. I'm using gunmetal gray. Now I'll be taking strong tone, and we're going to be doing all of the details that I just showed you. So, the wood, make sure not to hit any of the actual body of the tank, though. So make sure you get wood, metal, don't do the road wheels, though. We want to keep those looking separate from the metal. So now we're moving on to some weathering. It's time for some sponge chipping with German Camo Black Brown. This should be pretty heavy along all sharp lines. Turret top, turret seams, uh, hull edges, um, like I said, any sharp edge should get a pretty heavy chipping with this. Um, I know that this is a little dark for the red oxide primer, but I just like the way this looks more than with the flat brown. And we'll be next we're doing some exposed bare metal with a light gray of your choice. I mixed one up myself. Um, and this is a lot lighter, and make sure it stays inside. This is for bare metal, not the primer. Uh, so there should be less of this. Next we'll be taking more matte black, and we will be doing some black weathering. This is mostly soot on the engine deck. Um, get around, the exhausts and radiator, um, and do a little bit of streaking in there. Make it look pretty realistic, um, as well as the top front of the gun barrel soot from firing. So now we'll be doing a bit more by way of weathering, and we will be giving the tracks a metallic highlight to represent newly worn metal that just been exposed by running over a cobblestone street. So with a little bit more weathering, you are done. I did the extra weathering with pale sand um, on the tracks, and I am very, very happy with this actually. It's not that hard. It's all with acrylics except for the washes, which were ink and oil. And I think that the chipping looks really nice. So thank you. I'll be back pretty soon with the first couple steps of the diorama I'm doing for this.